What's happening, everybody? I just felt like doing something tonight, and this is not really... I don't recall if I've ever done an exact video on this topic before, so figured it might be cool tonight. About 2 months ago now, we lost Rich, who has been with our family for so long. My grandma's boyfriend, essentially, is what we called him, and my grandma, she needed help moving all this stuff out of his house, all this stuff she didn't want, and stuff that his family didn't want. And in the process of helping clear Rich's house out, we had this cupboard. Nobody wanted it, it was just sitting there, and my grandma was just going to leave it in the driveway for the trash, and I said, well, wait a minute, I could probably rearrange some space in my bedroom, get it, make it look pretty, make it look nice with the surrounding environment. That's exactly what we did. Got some of my celebrity photo ops up on the top there, and I use this to store my VHS collection in it. Now, I do the movie collection updates pretty regularly. Every 2 months, roughly, I do one, because I'm always collecting, getting movies for dirt cheap, because that's how I pass my time after work. I do a typical 9-to-5 schedule. I also have a second part-time job, so I just like picking up movies and stuff, and gives me something to look forward to after the shift. Check something out. So I've been doing a lot of rearranging, a lot of spatial organization, and I've been rearranging everything just to ensure that I have space, everything is organized properly. So I thought, what better way than to use this and make it like a VHS cabinet. I mean, this cabinet is already exceedingly 90s looking. So why not go all the way back and just make this my 90s VHS cabinet? Ginger. So I thought it would be fun, now that I have everything organized, situated into a couple different tiers, if I just did a little video, just a little time waster here, do a video on my VHS collection. For those of you that enjoy going really far back in the nostalgia and stuff like this, something a little different. You know, I'm always talking about the DVDs and Blu-rays, don't really do too much with the VHS. I don't really watch the VHS tapes as much, because usually whenever I get something that is not available on DVD or Blu-ray, I will convert it to disc as I'm watching it, so I don't really re-watch the tapes too much, but you never know. So, without further ado, let's take a look at these. Okay, so this top shelf, the way I have this organized, in the back we have all the, you guys remember VHS collecting the really big, like clamshell, styrofoam, plastic cases that take up so much space. I've got those in the back, followed by some like hard box clamshell, and then everything else on the top is all of my non-movie stuff. So you guys know I love collecting just obscure VHS oddities. Well, that's a lot of what this is. So let's push these aside. Going for the back, we've got my original VHS tape of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the childhood favorite. I think Jason got this for me for Christmas when I was like 4. So this, I have a second copy of this on VHS, strangely enough, but this is the one I had first and I always watched. And then Arthur's Perfect Christmas, one of my childhood favorite Christmas shows, as well as this, Arthur's New Friend, which is a promotion they used to do where parents could send in your picture and they would overdub your name and put your picture in the cartoon. I need to see if I can get this uploaded onto YouTube one day. That might be funny, especially now that Arthur celebrated their finale. So, and I kept a lot of these from when I was a kid, which is why you'll see Caillou's Holiday Movie and Caillou Under the Stars. I just hang on to them. Christmas Story, you know, who doesn't love Christmas Story? This is a collector's item, the Microsoft 95 Friends video guide. And then I've got all these Goosebumps, so the Haunted Mask 2, A Night in Terror Tower, The Werewolf of Fever Swamp, Stay Out of the Basement, and Welcome to Dead House. All of these came from a Hollywood Video back in the day when they were closing. They weren't closing yet. They were getting rid of all their VHS items. So I got those. And then this was an online promotion of VHS of Kung Fury. before the 80s nostalgia trend really went overboard and got tiresome. So I like Kung Fury, though. That was a fun little novelty. And then just some kind of oddities here. We've got Be Cool About Fire Safety, which is absolute insanity. Indie horror film called The Sleeper, which to this day I've never watched. This early Blue Man Group performance live at the Franklin Furnace. And a Blue Man Group EPK, electronic. I'm a huge fan of the Blue Man Group, one of my childhood favorite acts. So you're going to see a lot of their stuff in here. This I got for, I don't know what the hell it is, Nourishing Healthy Children by Dr. James Scala. I have no idea what that is. Visit Hawaii, whoop-de-doo. And Patrick's very own birthday party video. I mean, how could I resist when this is like 50 cents in a thrift store? Patrick's birthday party. Breaking the Magician's Code, Volume 1 and 2, Volume 3, The Masked Magician. These are from the 90s. I used to love watching those on TV. Mitch Pileggi hosts them. How to Have a Money-Making Garage Sale, starring Phyllis Diller. I still question what the purpose of that video is, but it's entertaining nevertheless. How to Play Pool, starring Minnesota Fats. Radiant Heat Underfloor Installation. It's a bunch of fat guys with mustaches talking about heating. Like, I love these obscure VHS oddities, just because you don't get stuff like this today. This is only in like the 80s and 90s could you get this kind of stuff. Like How to Yo-Yo. This guy that looks exactly like Rick Moranis teaches you how to yo-yo with very cheesy music videos. Leslie Nielsen's Bad Golf Made Easier. That's actually a really funny tape. And then this is still sealed. I never opened it. Total Golf, Saving Strokes with Bruce Crampton. 1986 Senior Player of the Year. Whoop-de-doo. The Klutz's Guide to Saving Money on Home Repair Bills. This one's interesting. It's literally just like a home video of this old dude fixing stuff around his house. It's pretty entertaining. The Making of Blue Man Group's debut album, Audio. This weird CG beyond the mind's eye, just this computer animation odyssey, as it calls it. Yeah, this is a weird, trippy tape, but hey. News bloopers, pretty self-explanatory. Virgo, your guide to love, money, and fitness. I don't really follow astrology, but I am a Virgo, so hey, you know, maybe I could learn some pointers. And summer bloopers, again, exactly how it sounds. Moving on down. Oh, I'm sorry, we forgot these. These are just more obscure, like ladder safety, construction safety, safety awareness. This VHS double feature, Upping the Ante and the Hidden Customer, Mrs. Troike's Kindergarten Friends. That's my kindergarten tape. Very nostalgic. And then this blank tape is a VHS tape from Sears that turned out to be Thumb Wars. Okay, getting down to this shelf now, we've got all the actual movies, so I'm not going to pull all these up, but in the back, we have, again, more pro sports bloopers. That should be up there, but whatever. Snowball Express, I don't believe I've ever watched that, so I don't know what that is. Hollow Man, great underrated film. The Glimmer Man with Steven Seagal and FX is back there. And then in front of that, we have Deep Blue Sea, Stir of Echoes, Speed, One More Saturday Night. That one's never been on DVD or Blu-ray yet. Fun movie, though. And The Chain, this really weird movie that opens with Gary Busey doing a sting operation as a clown, and at one point in the movie he becomes a sheik. It's absolute insanity, but go. And then from there we have an 80s action movie called Getting Even, A Few Good Men, Brain Smasher, A Love Story with Andrew Dice Clay, the X-Files movie, and an 80s comedy called The Invisible Kid, that is ultra cheesy. Then we've got the Brady Bunch Christmas special, I used to watch that a lot as a kid. The Granny, I'm surprised this has not been, as of the time I'm recording this on March 12th, 2022, this still does not have a disc release. That is absolute corny and crazy and hilarious. Dance Till Dawn, really cheesy but charming TV movie. My number one favorite film, Better Off Dead. I've done a couple of videos about this recently and the book I was able to contribute to, so you guys know that it's my number one film of all time. And this is the tape, you know, with all the age marks and everything. that I watched it on as a kid in the early 2000s. And Thunder Run, this absolutely bonkers 80s action movie. And there's actually 2 cuts of it, too, with different scenes, which is weird. But, hey, it is what it is. Alright, going down here, we've got Psychic with Zach Galligan and Catherine Mary Stewart. The James Bond story, documentary about the films up through the Brosnan era. Quiet Cool, 80s action movie with James Remar. And Children of the Corn 2, The Final Sacrifice. And up here we've got Day of Atonement, which is actually the sequel to a French gangster film, and I guess this was their attempt to go American with it. Christopher Walken is deliciously weird in it. Pretty Kill. I got this at a horror convention for a few bucks. I don't believe I've ever watched it yet, so I don't know how that is. And Night Hunter, starring Don the Dragon Wilson. And The Landlady, starring Talia Shire as a psycho landlady. Moving on down, we've got Nomads with Pierce Brosnan, Psycho 4: The Beginning, A Slight Case of Murder, and Chevy Chase in Funny Farm. Up here, crazy canon movie Midnight Ride, where Mark Hamill plays a psycho serial killer, hitching rides and eating people's eyeballs. Another Mark Hamill movie, The Guyver. The Wizard of Speed and Time. This is an extremely eccentric movie. It's basically a guy who's really bitter that he never got hired to do special effects for Disney, so he just made this UHF-style screwball comedy that is essentially just one long special effect. Really weird experience watching that. And Predator, Die Hard. Those don't need any introduction. And then going behind those, we've got an 80s horror thriller called Shadow Dancing, although it's more of a drama. Comedy, Breaking All the Rules from the mid-80s. H-Bomb from the early 70s. Meet the Deedles, which is a crazy early Paul Walker movie. And Lady in White, which is a great Halloween time movie. And then we have this really cheesy early 70s action thing called Black Gold, which is terrible. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, Ghost, Magic Kid, weird kung fu PM entertainment movie, Out of the Dark. I don't believe I have ever watched this either. It came from the same convention I got that from. And then in the back corner over there is the terrible AIP movie Soul Taker. Yeah. So those are the movies on VHS, and now this section is going to be kind of funny to talk about because these... I hinted at it up there with the Caillou and the Arthur ones that I just still have. But down here, you will find all of my childhood VHS tapes of childhood shows that I loved that I just never got rid of. So that's it's more. I don't regularly watch many of these, but I still have them. I feel like I'm throwing away part of my childhood, part of my life, if I just disregard them. I figured while I have the space, why not still at least honor where you came from? So getting that out of the way, I've got 2 Brady Bunch VHS tapes here. Yeah, I don't know the deal with these. The Honeymoon, A Camping We Will Go, and the Tattletale, Law and Disorder, right there. Then these are all of the I'll go through the front first because as you can see it's all the same series. These are the Dave Hood Real Wheels series, which I absolutely loved as a kid. For some reason I've got 2 of this one. Here Comes a Roller Coaster. And you'll see these are all, this one is Here Comes, but it's all There Goes and they all have like the same template on the cover where the vehicle at hand is crashing through the VHS art. So we've got Here Comes a Roller Coaster, the one that everyone's the most familiar with. This was a big one when I was a kid. There Goes a Fire Truck, There Goes a Bulldozer, There Goes a Truck, There Goes a Boat, Helicopter, Motorcycle, Mail Truck, Airplane, School Bus, Garbage Truck, Rescue Vehicle, Ambulance, Race Car, Train, Santa Claus, Monster Truck, Farm Truck, tractor. They also had tank, spaceship, and dump truck, which I have on DVD. I don't have the tapes of those anymore. And then the same guy, Dave Hood, did these really obscure videos. That's How They Do It, chocolate, and That's How They Do It, money, where he's on an island with these monkey and stuff. Those are weird. There's a dolls one. Okay, then in the back we've got Corky Romano. It's another one I liked watching a lot when I was a kid. Here's another VHS I have of Willy Wonka. I got it as a kid just because I liked a different cover. I think this is a much older tape too, so hey, that's because I know this is the original poster right there. This crazy Why Charlie Brown Why, when Charlie Brown tackled cancer. You would probably never see something like this today in the kids mainstream. Some Simpsons box sets. Let's see, this is the Simpsons Political Party, 3 tapes in there. And then we've got the Spooky Treehouse of Horror VHS collection. This right here was my first ever introduction to The Simpsons. I had this VHS set when I was a kid, these 3, and this was my first ever introduction to The Simpsons, so yay. I probably need to throw these away. I don't know why I still have these Caillou tapes. Caillou's Holiday, Goodbye Winter, Hello Springtime, Big Brother Caillou. I don't know why I have them. But like I said, you know, big part of your childhood and stuff, like these Thomas and the Tank Engine, you know, the merit of it being models, George Carlin, Alec Baldwin doing the voiceovers, there's an effort put into these kids shows that you just don't see today. So it's cool to have for nostalgia. Thomas and the Jet Engine, Thomas's Snowy Surprise, Gallant Old Engine, another Christmas tape. Races, Rescues, and Runaways, Spills and Chills. See, that's the weird thing about these old shows is that every single episode is either spooky or stuff is crashing and blowing up. Like, it's really strange for a kid's show. Cranky Bugs. Thomas Meets the Queen. I love how I'm still showing you all these. Rusty to the Rescue. Daisy. And then this limited edition, I don't know if this is worth anything or not, this like steel VHS tin of Make Someone Happy. So, whoop-de-doo-dah. Okay, so this has been really stupid, but somebody might enjoy what I had to say about all these. My VHS collection, shelving unit, the cabinet, courtesy of Rich. Rest in peace. Thank you, Rich. Thank you for making my bedroom just look a little bit more tolerable. Woohoo. And so yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed what I had to say. If any of these titles or make you curious and you want to look them up, go right ahead. I've got the weirdest collection span out of everyone, to where I've literally got Thomas the Tank Engine, The Granny, Die Hard Stir of Echoes, and Phyllis Diller's Garage Sale, all in the same collection. So it's just something cool about these unique VHS oddities. So thank you guys for watching. Take care, and we'll talk to you very soon.